She swatted my hands away like I'd spilled wet paint on her. I'd walked up behind her by the sink. Sunday morning, coffee on the counter, sun striking the tile. Normal quiet. She leaned away, stepped to the side without looking at me. "Don't," she said. "Not unless I ask for it." I kept my voice flat. The way she recoiled from my touch, you'd think I'd just smeared wet paint on her. That Sunday morning, I realized our marriage wasn't just having a rough patch, it was quietly, irrevocably dying. The scent of brewing coffee usually brought comfort, but that day, it hung heavy in the air, thick with unspoken words. The sun streamed through the kitchen window, highlighting dust motes dancing in the silence, each one a tiny witness to the growing chasm between us. I'd come up behind her at the sink, a Sunday ritual, coffee on the counter. But when I reached out, Olivia flinched, pulling away like I was poison. "Don't," she said, her voice flat, "not unless I want it." I just said, "Copy that." She didn't let up. "I'm serious, Ethan. I don't like being grabbed." I just nodded, a quiet noted. Then, leaning on the island, I couldn't resist a small jab. "Do I need to put it on the calendar so I remember?" She shot me a look over her shoulder. "Just respect the boundary." "Done," I said. And in that moment, something shifted. If I'd known where that morning was headed, I'd have labeled it differently, maybe saved myself some miles. But I like clear rules. She gave me one. I listened. The rest of the morning was quiet. She left her cup half full and walked upstairs. I finished mine, rinsed both, then stood staring into the open trash can, wishing it held some secret advice. But it was just a bag. I took it out. At lunch, I tried another approach. "Dinner tonight," I told her. "I'll grill your favorite. Plain, simple, no experiments." Her voice was still flat. "I'm not hungry. I'm going to the gym late. New program. Don't wait up." "Okay," I said. "I'll eat what I eat then." She grabbed her keys. "And please stop asking if I'm okay every 5 minutes. It's smothering." "Message received," I replied, and that was the first time I consciously stepped out of the script. No drama, just an adjustment. That night, I ate alone, cleaned the grill, put my plate in the dishwasher. Olivia came back after 10, damp hair, a new duffel. She passed me in the hallway like a stranger in an airport terminal. "Late one," I offered. "Yeah. How's the new program?" "It's fine." She didn't slow down. "I'm showering." We slept on 2 sides of the same mattress like tenants in a duplex. I woke at 5 out of habit, made coffee, left a cup for her. She didn't touch it. On Tuesday, I brought up counseling. Olivia snorted. "I'm not sitting in a room so a stranger can assign me homework," she said, sliding her sneakers on. "Then we can do our own," I countered. Sunday night, we sit for an hour. No phones. "Hard pass," she said. "I don't want schedules for feelings." "Okay," I replied. "Hey, then we'll go with the boundary you set. You want space, you have it. When you want closeness, you ask. Until then, I'm out of the guessing game. That's my boundary." She rolled her eyes. "Wow, dramatic." "Less drama than it sounds," I told her. "It's me not tripping over your lines." I took the trash out again. It seemed I was finding small tasks when the big ones were going nowhere. Wednesday, she posted in the friends group chat about a Saturday hangout at Michael and Sophia's. I answered with a thumbs up. She added, "Might be late. My guy is on a mission to connect all the time." With a laughing emoji. I typed, erased, typed again. Then I wrote, "No mission here. I go where I'm welcome." And put the phone down. Michael texted me privately. "All good, I'll come," I wrote back. See you Saturday, he sent a beer glass emoji. That's Michael, construction manager. Straight lines, one syllable per thought. That night, Olivia tossed a gym flyer on the counter. They're offering an extended package. 12 weeks. I'm thinking I'll do it. Sounds like a hobby, I said. Hobbies are on the hobby budget. Yours, not the mortgage. She stared at me like I'd physically moved a wall. So, you're just not supporting me? I'm supporting the mortgage, the utilities, the real food, I replied. I'm not funding a hobby while you tell me not to stand within 6 feet of you. That's not punishment. That's math. Unbelievable, she said, and left it at that. Thursday, she skipped dinner again. I ate with Daniel, a coworker who knows when to talk and when to leave silence alone. We sat at the diner, same booth we'd used for years. You good? He asked, sliding me the salt. I'm making adjustments, I said. That bad? I got told to wait for an invitation to hug my own wife, I told him. So, I'm taking instructions literally. Daniel blew air out his nose, a half laugh. You always like the clear plan. Helps avoid stepping on the rake twice, I said. He nodded. You going to skip Saturday? No, I said. I'll show up. I'll say hello. I'm not hiding in my garage like a stray cat. Back home, Olivia was already in bed. I took the couch and fell asleep to a baseball game with the sound low. In the morning, she had the same flat voice, like we were co-workers on a project that never ends. Please don't make a scene in front of our friends, she said while putting on her jacket. I don't do scenes, I answered. I do statements. Cute line, she said. It's not a line, I told her. It's a boundary. On Friday afternoon, out of nowhere, she walked into my job site with a paper bag from a deli. She doesn't do job sites. Dust, noise, rough guys, not her place. She crossed the gravel, blinking in the sun. Daniel looked at me like, well, that's new, brought you lunch, she said, handing me the bag. She smiled. I was abrupt this week. Work's been heavy. I took the bag. Thank you. I overreact sometimes, she continued, softening for the first time in days. I don't like being pounced on. That's all. Understood. So, we're okay? She asked. Right. I don't want weirdness on Saturday. We're civil. Civility travels well, I said. She exhaled, seemed relieved. Good. Then she added, like it just occurred to her, oh, and about the gym package. If we can't do it from the main account, can you cover the card and I'll pay you back for my next checks? I'm not a bank, I said. If you want the package, use your card, your schedule, your budget. She tried to hold the smile. You're being petty. Petty would be canceling things you like, I said. I'm not canceling anything. I'm separating what's mine to carry from what's yours to choose. She nodded slowly. Okay. Noted. Daniel waited until she left. She brought you a sandwich and an invoice. Yeah, I said, opening the bag. Turkey on rye. She knows what I like. It landed exactly where she intended. I took a bite, tasted both flavors, then set it down. Friday night, I looked at a map and picked a place by the water with decent food and no need for reservations. Simple. I kept it to myself. If she wanted closeness, she'd ask. Saturday morning, I changed the oil in my truck, mowed the lawn, vacuumed, occupied myself with chores that don't argue. Around 5, I texted, I'll swing by the gym at 6. If you're up for it, we'll get dinner somewhere easy. No response. I gave it 20 minutes. Then I drove over anyway, not to push, but to test the air. The gym lot was half full. The sun was dropping behind the strip mall, throwing long shadows across parked cars. I sat in my truck a minute, watched people come and go, laughter near the entrance. The front desk kid I'd seen before, ponytail, friendly, waved to someone, and then Olivia walked out with her trainer. I'd seen Liam once in passing, tall guy with that permanent tan people get from spending all day under white lights. They were talking close. She laughed. He said something, reached, and she stepped into him the way people do when they've practiced it. It wasn't a quick pat. It wasn't a good session, see you Monday. It was two people who knew exactly where to put their hands and didn't mind who noticed. I didn't honk. I didn't get out. I learned what I needed to know in 10 seconds. I looked at the water bottle rolling around in my cup holder, then back up. She adjusted her hair, took his arm. They turned back inside together. The automatic doors opened without judgment. I put the truck in gear and left. On the way home, I stopped by the hardware store, bought a second lock for the basement room I use for tools and files. I changed nothing else. Not that night. I grilled a chicken breast, ate half, threw the rest in a container. Around 10, the garage door came up. Olivia came in humming. She didn't see me at the table. "Hey," she called lightly. "I'm starving. Leftovers in the fridge." She opened it, pulled out a container, sniffed. "This is dry." "You missed the window," I said, tapping the lid of my laptop with 2 fingers. Not a dramatic gesture, just a beat. Tomorrow's grocery. Make a list. She closed the fridge with a low thud. "Is this you being sulky?" "It's me not making extra effort where it's not asked for," I said. "I thought that's what you wanted." She shrugged, headed upstairs with a yogurt. I heard a shower start. I finished my email. It wasn't to a counselor. It was to an attorney a guy on my crew had used for a simple clean exit when he split a few years back. I didn't send a novel. I wrote 3 lines, asked for a consult, requested discretion. I closed the laptop and slept hard. Sunday morning, I set up 2 accounts at the bank, one for shared bills, one for me. I left the mortgage and utilities auto-paying from the shared. I moved the rest of my paycheck to my own. No fanfare, no speeches. Just logistics. If she wanted extras, they would be hers. Clean and simple. She noticed Monday. "Why is the card declined for my package?" she asked over text. "Because the shared account pays the house," I wrote. "Your personal expenses are on your card. There used to be enough for both. Those days were when we were a team." Long pause. Then, "Wow. Cool. Accurate," I replied. "You set the temperature." I just matched it. She didn't write back that night. She made herself a small dinner, ate it standing, went upstairs. I cleaned the counters. I stared at our wedding photo on the shelf, not with sentiment, but inventory. A picture of 2 people who had time and didn't know what they were going to spend it on. On Tuesday, she came home early with a bag of groceries and made a full dinner. She hadn't done that on a weekday in a long time. The kitchen smelled like garlic. Real food. A real kitchen. She poured me a drink, light, nothing to make a night of it. She set a plate in front of me while I was on a call with Daniel. "Smells good," Daniel said through the speaker. "Yeah," I replied. "Catch you tomorrow." Olivia sat across from me, chin in her hand. "I've been edgy. Work's rough. You've been edgy, too. Can we reset?" "We can eat," I said. She tried to smile. "I'm trying here." "I see it." "I miss us," she said. "Sometimes I just don't know how to get back." "When you're ready for that, you'll say so," I told her. "And I'll listen." I didn't add the rest of the sentence. I already know where you go when I'm not looking. She reached out, touched my hand softly. I didn't jerk away. I also didn't cover hers. I let it be a neutral field. After dinner, she moved closer on the couch. She put on a show. I watched the closing credits more than the episode. She leaned in, her head on my shoulder, then higher. Her breath was warm. She waited for me to bridge the gap. I'm not there, I told her, calm. You set that standard. I'm staying with it. Seriously? She drew back. Now you're punishing me. I'm matching the rules, I said. No more grabbing without an invite. Right? That was your rule. I'm not breaking it. She stood, angry in that quiet way where no plate breaks, but the room chills. This is exhausting. Agreed. We slept apart that night. I took the basement room by choice. Locked it when I left. My files stayed my files. My plans stayed my plans. Wednesday Michael called. Saturday's on. Bring your appetite. Always, I said. You and Olivia good? He asked, a little more direct. We'll be present, I said. That's what you get, he grunted. Bring whatever. Sophia's doing her dips and salads. I'll run the grill. Olivia, for her part, shifted strategy. Thursday, she gave me a ride to pick up my truck from the shop where they'd replaced brake pads. She's not a car person. On the way, she squeezed my knee. I miss when you joked with me, she said. I still have jokes, I told her. They just land where they're appreciated. Meaning, not here, she shot back, then softened. Look, I know I've been distant. I'm trying to fix that. You can talk to me about work, I offered. Start there. She gave me a trimmed version of some office drama. A manager who micromanaged, a coworker who didn't pull weight. I listened. I didn't poke. When she finished, she looked over, waiting for more. You want to grab pizza? She asked. I've got steaks thawing, I said. Plan ahead, remember? She sighed, then nodded. Right, your thing. It's my dinner, I said. It's the least fussy thing I own. Whatever, she said. But the anger didn't stick. She was in adjustment mode again, testing, calibrating how far she had to lean before I leaned back. I didn't move. Saturday came. I put on a clean shirt, grabbed my keys, and paused at the door. Then I went back to the basement room, took the manila envelope off the desk, and slid it into my backpack. Papers are paperwork. They're not a threat. They're a position. We arrived late afternoon. Michael had the grill smoking. Sophia was everywhere at once, setting out bowls, touching shoulders, laughing too loud, like always. I like her in small doses. She likes me more as the straight man in her bits. Olivia floated into the patio crowd like she'd been waiting all week to be in a room with witnesses. She hugged people, talked fast, reached for a drink. I took a water, said hello, stood near the grill with Michael. Good to see you, he said, tongs in hand. You look like sleep happened to you. I slept, I said. That's my big accomplishment. Sophia called out, Olivia, get over here. We're doing a couple's question. It's a thing she does, icebreakers nobody asked for. People humor her because it's easier. Olivia perched on the arm of a chair, one hand on her hip. Ask away. What's one habit your partner has that drives you wild? Sophia grinned. But keep it nice, people. Michael stacks plates like they're bricks, someone chimed in. Laughter. It rolled for a minute with low-risk answers. Then Sophia turned to Olivia. All right, queen of the gym. Your turn. Olivia didn't hesitate. He's stiff, she said, pointing her thumb at me with a smile that was almost sweet. He overthinks everything. And recently, he won't even hug me unless I make an appointment. A couple of chuckles. The harmless tone made it worse, not better. She kept going. He's afraid to even touch me now, like I'm this sacred thing. It's weird. Heads turned, including Michael's. He looked at me, eyebrows up like, "You want that?" Sophia laughed too easily, then realized it didn't land soft. Silence did that thing where it stretches thin. I set my water down on the table. Unlike your trainer, yeah. The patio air changed like somebody opened a freezer door. You could hear the burner hiss. Sophia's smile died and resurrected twice. Michael blinked. Excuse me? Olivia's voice sharpened. Your trainer, I repeated, same tone I'd used to tell a guy on my crew he measured the header wrong. The one at the gym you like to stay late with. The one you practice your boundaries with. Olivia stood up straight, fists at her sides like she wasn't sure what to do with them. That is a disgusting thing to say. I can't believe you would smear me in front of our friends. I didn't smear you, I said. I observed you. It was a good hug, a pro move. Stop it, Sophia said. Hands up, guys. Not here. Olivia rounded on me. You're insecure. You're making things up because you can't handle me having my own life. I handle facts, I replied. Here's another. I reached into my backpack, pulled out the envelope, took out the stack, and set it on the picnic table without flourish. The top page showed 2 names and a date. You'll swing by tomorrow to pick up your clothes. Don't come by tonight. What is that? Sophia asked, voice gone small. Paperwork, I said. I started the process. I don't make threats. I make decisions. Olivia's face went white, then red, then blank. You're insane. We're not doing this. You're free not to do anything, I said, steady. I am done living like a stranger paying for a roommate who mocks me in public and schedules closeness like a dentist. I turned to Michael. Sorry for the drop-in. Your steaks smell good. Oh, Michael said. He looked like a man who just found a live wire under his feet. Sophia put a hand on Olivia's arm. Olivia pulled away. You're ending our marriage because you saw me hug someone? I'm ending it because respect left the building, I said. Tonight just made it public, which saves me time. She pointed at the papers like they would bite her. You'll regret this. I regret learning late, I said. That's it. I picked up my backpack, nodded at Michael, gave Sophia a small apology with my eyes, and walked out through the side gate. The night air felt the same as it did walking in. The difference was I wasn't carrying any hope with me. It's heavy when it's sour. I slept at home alone that night with the door locked. Not fear, just control. In the morning, I put her essentials in labeled boxes. Bathroom stuff, closet stuff, desk stuff. No shredding, no petty vandalism. I stacked them by the front door and left for a run. When I got back, there was a text. Asterisk, I'm coming by. Don't speak to me. Door will be unlocked, asterisk, I wrote, I won't be there. An hour later, the boxes were gone. No note, no noise. The house felt like the stage after the play, props missing their actors. I sat at the table, opened the window, and let the air move. A week later, she tried the big apology. It came by phone first, then in person at a coffee place halfway between our addresses. She wore the ring, but didn't look at it. I'm sorry, she said, hands around a paper cup. I shouldn't have joked at the party. I was frustrated. I felt you pulling away, and I wanted to get a reaction. You got one, I said. Not that one, she muttered, then steadied her voice. I didn't do anything wrong at the gym, she added quick, like it had to be in there. You did what you needed, I answered. So did I. We built a life, she said. You don't just toss it. I built it, I said. You decorated it. And then you started charging admission. I'm not paying to live in my own house. She shook her head. You're cold. I matched the room, I said. She looked at me a long time. Then said, if you tell people lies about me, I don't talk about you, I interrupted. I don't need to. The people who matter were at that patio. She stared at her cup, then stood up. You'll be alone with your rules. Good luck. I'm never alone with my rules, I said. They keep me company. She left. The chair rocked once and stilled. I stayed and finished the coffee. The process after that was ugly in the way paperwork is ugly. Not dramatic, not cinematic, just lines, signatures, calls. She pushed for more than she could carry. She sent me lists of what she thought she was entitled to. I answered with records, dates, transfers. When the facts were laid out, the balance tilted my way. She walked away with a chunk of savings and not much else. She tried to tug on old strings a couple more times with long messages about memories and vows. I kept my answers short and procedural. The separation was clean where it had to be clean. Brutal where it had to be brutal. Facts don't hold hands. Daniel stopped by one Saturday with a six-pack and the silence he offers in hard times. We put 2 chairs in the driveway and watched the street. You look lighter, he said. I removed weight, I said. Turns out it wasn't muscle. He snorted. Michael told me Sophia is still processing that patio moment. I didn't enjoy it, I said. It just needed to happen where it started. He nodded. People learned where you stand. I learned where I stand, I corrected him. That's the only part that matters. He studied me. You going to date eventually? I said, I'm not auditioning for a caretaker role again. I'll take my time. You can do worse than time, he said, and handed me a bottle. The house found a new sound. Quiet. That wasn't a punishment. I got up early and fixed things I'd been ignoring. The latch on the gate, the squeak in the hall door. I started going to the lake on Sunday mornings with coffee and a book. I called my sister more. I met my buddies for cards on Thursdays. I wasn't out hunting for a story to tell strangers. I was just living in a way that made sense to me. A month later, I moved out of the house we bought together and into a smaller place with a decent garage and a patch of grass that didn't make me resent a Saturday. I found a used car that fit my work and didn't eat gas like a dragon. I kept the furniture that mattered and let the rest go. I hung 2 photos, one of a mountain I'd climbed years ago, one of my old man at a cookout, tongs in hand, a look on his face that said, do the work and leave the drama to people who like it. Olivia, I heard pieces. Sophia told Michael, who told me, because that's how information moves through men. She changed apartments. The gym friend wasn't in the picture by then. She shifted jobs once. The big laughs and rooms got smaller. That's not my victory. That's gravity. Sometimes I think about that first Sunday, the coffee half full. The rule she laid down like a traffic cone, don't touch me unless I want it, fair enough. People get to choose. I learned to choose, too. I stopped touching the fire and blaming the fire. If you're waiting for a twist where I take it all back, you'll wait alone. I don't hate her. I don't love the person she turned into around me. Those can both be true. What do I regret? Being late to my own life. I should have recognized earlier that no amount of dinners or jokes can warm a room that someone keeps opening to the wind. I spent months patching holes in a boat while somebody else drilled new ones and blamed the lake. Now I do the basics. Well, work, sleep, decent food. I see my niece's soccer games and don't leave early. I lift weights because it calms my head, not because anyone is counting. I sit with friends who don't need a script to be themselves. I've had a couple coffees with a woman who laughs when I say something dry and doesn't check her phone every 3 minutes. She asked what I want out of a partnership. I told her respect I don't have to beg for and rules that apply to both of us. I walk past the mirror in the morning and see a man I recognize. He's not perfect. He just follows his own lines. If someone's in the lane with me, good. We go. If not, I'm not throwing my truck into the ditch to make them comfortable. Last week, Olivia texted a single sentence. I'm dropping off a box I found that belongs to you. I told her to leave it by the door. I wasn't home when she came. Later, I opened it. It was old stuff from the early days. Movie stubs. A note I wrote once. A photo where we look like paid actors trying to sell the idea of happiness. I didn't burn it. I didn't frame it. I put it on a shelf in the garage and got back to work. On my way out that day, I locked the door and checked the handle. Habit, something my father taught me. Trust is good. A locked door is better. I walked down the steps, felt the air, and smiled to myself without any victory parade. The win wasn't the papers or the party line or the silence that followed. The win was the sentence I said right before I left Michael's patio, "Don't come by tonight." It was simple. It meant I was done volunteering for disrespect. It meant the next time somebody says, "Don't touch me unless I want it," I won't wait years to notice that what they want has nothing to do with me. I'll hear it once. I'll set my own boundary and I'll act. People hear that and call it cold, maybe, but cold is better than cruel and kinder than pretending. It's also warm enough for a man to sleep in his own house without feeling like a trespasser. And if you're wondering about that trainer, no, I don't care. I refuse to care the minute I toss those papers on the table. Caring would mean I'm still playing. I folded my hand, stood up, and walked. That's not a loss. That's the only move that lets you win. I'm not telling you this to collect sympathy. Keep it. I don't need it. I'm saying it as a cheat sheet for anyone who hears the same lines I heard and thinks patience will turn them into different lines. It won't. It'll just turn you into someone who forgets his own name for a while. I remember mine now. I wear it well. I don't fight windmills. I fix what's mine and let the rest fall. And when I see a line, I honor it. Especially the ones I draw myself. What do you think about drawing your own lines? Was I wrong to match her energy?